Hello guys, it's Tom here from the WB Trading team. On today's video, I wanted to talk about the most important sites and tools that I think every trader should be using. I speak to traders all the time using different websites, different types of programs to try and support their trading, and some of them are absolutely fantastic. There's some that I've not come across that I learn about from the traders in our community. And, I think that although trading, there's so many different ways of trading, I think there are a few tools out there that every trader, or the vast majority of traders, should be using. I'm going to go through the 5 sites that I think are really important today. There are plenty of alternatives out there, so I want you to really focus on the type of information you're getting from each of these areas. We're going to look at basically support for live trading, for reviewing and back testing, for journaling, and just overall improving your trading performance. And, these are sites I know many of our traders are using, and probably you are as well. But if not, maybe if there's an area you're stuck with on your trading, this might just get you to that next level. So yeah, guys, we'll cover the 5 sites now. Let's jump in. Just very quickly before we dive in, if you're still struggling with your trading, or you'd like to know more about how mechanical edges are traded, I've put together a free video course for you that'll map out and explain everything in detail, along with walking you through exactly how the mechanical rules actually work. If you'd like to watch that after this video, I'll pop a link in the description. You can click through and you can watch that straight away. So the 5 areas I want to cover are, to start with, a solid trading platform. It might seem obvious, but I always like to make sure, traders start out with a good base there. You need a competent trading platform that's also quite simple to use as well. That's just going to make your life so much easier. We're also going to look at software for journaling and kind of include back testing in that as well. We're going to look at risk management support, so software that's going to help you to manage your risk effectively. I'm going to combine 2 here really and look through a good market screener and also just market information. So general things like trading hours, if there's any news coming out, if you're a trader that trades fundamentals. And finally, trading education and support. Leaving the best to last really, because I think that is, for most traders, the most important area. So I'm going to cover one example of each, but also talk about, in general, why those areas are so important for traders. So yeah, let's get started and have a look at, why a good trading platform is absolutely vital. So to start with, I've just loaded up IG here. This is the platform that I use, and quite a lot of our traders in the WB trading community use as well. I don't think it's a perfect broker. If you've watched some of my previous videos on IG, you'll understand why I think it's a suitable choice for specifically many beginner traders as well. It doesn't have some of the advanced features that you find on sites like MT4, but it does the job for the vast majority of traders. And there are a lot of kind of first-party broker platforms like this that you can use. FXCM, Oanda, a couple that I've used in the past that I think are really good. But in general, what we want to focus on is why platforms like this are effective, in my opinion anyway. I think when you're looking for a trading platform, you want one that's easy to use. Above all else, you don't want to have to struggle to be placing trades, to find markets, to set up any indicators that you need. It's got to be straightforward. It's got to take the hassle out of that. And I think something like IG does that really well. TradingView is another one. If you've watched my guides on TradingView, I think that's really intuitive to use. A little bit of a slightly steeper learning curve, I think, than something like IG. But it allows more flexibility as well. The key points we want with a platform, you want to be able to find markets easily, clearly identified where the markets are on the platform that you can easily load in and out. It's easy to change settings. Like, there's a time frame we can change. We can go back to previous days. That's all straightforward. There are some, areas that you can edit. You can adjust the style of candles. If you want a Heikin-Ashi candle, if you want the candles in a different color, for example, all that is there. There's other handy features, in terms of loading up indicators. They're all here, all the main ones. Okay, there are some that are missing. As I said, going on to MT4 or 5, you get a bit more variety there for specific trading options. But in general, there's everything here that you need. There are ways to track your trades as well on platforms like IG, that allow you to see your trade data. So that helps. I would leave that to specific journaling software, which we'll come on to in a second. But overall, what you want to see in terms of the key components for a solid platform are easy to use, easy to place trades as well, specifically, using something like the dealer order function up here. a clean layout as well, something that you're not having to struggle with. And basically, yeah, the ability, if you need it, to export your trade data quite simply as well. And they're the components. Okay, a platform like this won't suit every trader, but I would say for the majority, it has everything that you need. So once we have a trading platform selected, the next thing we need to do is to look at suitable journaling software. This is going to be vital if you've seen any of the previous videos we've done on journaling to really emphasize why we need to do it as a trader. And it can make your life really tricky if you have difficult software to use, or you're not really into the swing of things with journaling. So finding a platform, finding a method to do your journals and also do your back tests is almost as important as finding a competent and a suitable trading platform. There are a few bespoke packages out there on the internet for journals. So MyFXBook is a popular one. Also Hedge as well. I've used that for a few years. But to be perfectly honest, both of these are great. They're set up specifically for one thing, and they are adjustable as well. But there's fees basically associated with both. And to be honest, for most traders, I genuinely think that just using an Excel spreadsheet like this one here is more than enough. It's going to give you the flexibility to include any data that you need. Any kind of spreadsheet software like this, Google Sheets, it's going to be fine. It's going to give you all the functionality that's required to really expand your journal to the level that you want it, or to keep it straightforward. And the other key point is that it makes it easy to review. So yeah, whether you go with one of the bespoke pieces of software like Hedge, or you go with just a simple adaptation on a spreadsheet, make sure that you're happy with how it works. That's another key thing. If you're struggling to use Excel, if you're not too confident with the formulas and you don't want to spend time learning that, then one of these bespoke pieces of software may be better for you. But if you're quite competent on, like Microsoft Office, for example, probably can get away with Excel. It's the one that I use more than anything now, and it does 99.9% of the things that I wanted to do as a piece of journaling software. So yeah, don't be afraid to just use one of those instead of having to pay for the premium dedicated software. So next up, we have risk management software. This is a fairly minor thing, really. And for some experienced traders, you won't need this. But I think when you're starting out, really vital that you have a piece of software that's going to help you just to manage your risk effectively. Now, there are loads of little ones out there. And this is usually just in the form of a simple calculation. My preferred one is on the Baby Pips website, so babypips.com. On the home screen here, if you go over to the tools section, just drop that down. There's a bunch of different handy tools in here actually, and I haven't really covered any of these in videos in detail. It's worth having a look through if you want to know about, say, Forex market hours, even to look at pip value calculations. But position size is where we need to focus for this section. You can see here that just by entering some details, so your main account balance, your risk percentage, which if you've been in any of our videos previously, you'll know we focus on the 1% value, and stop loss distance. It'll give you the amount of risk and your lot, mini lot, and micro lot size. So let's just say we've got an account balance of 10,000. We're going to risk 1%, and our stop loss is say 30 pips. If we calculate this, you can then see what your standard lot size is if you were placing a trade in mini lots and if you were placing a trade in micro lots. And to start with, for most traders, this just makes things really simple. When you're placing trades on platforms and you're not sure how to manage your risk and what number you need to put in for your contract size, this is going to give you the answers. So it's definitely worth finding a calculator like this, bookmarking it, and always having it there until you get into the rhythm of calculating it for yourself. So the next area I wanted to talk about are suitable websites and tools for just general trading information and also for screening various sectors of the market, which I think is a really sort of underappreciated section for a lot of traders. So, you probably come across sites like Forex Factory here, which is fantastic if you want to find out any news that's coming up in the markets. You can see here they have a weekly calendar showing you the news impacts for all different currencies and markets and the severity of those impacts as well, or the potential severity. Also in terms of that, there's just general news here that you can look through. There's market information here, in terms of opening times for sessions, and you can just check the general markets as well. But also, tools like stock screeners and currency screeners. Now, I think TradingView probably the best out of all of them for this, certainly for free screeners. On here, the stock screener, you can also access a Forex and a crypto screener as well, allowing you to really sift through, a large amount of markets if you're looking for a specific thing. Okay, there are some limitations with the filters, etc. But for most things, and most indicators and most fundamental aspects, this is a really good tool to have. Depending on your trading, you may not use it too much. They've also got heat maps you can check through and have a look at. If you're using something like FinViz, or if you've used that before, you'll be familiar with how this works. More is just a visual aid, really, than anything too important. But it can help if you wanted to find out information quickly. You don't have to sift through pages and pages on a website. Bookmarking something like this, I think it just lays it out really nicely. And like I said, I don't use the screeners too much. I use the Forex one quite a bit, but for some traders, this will be really invaluable. And if you don't know about screeners, or like I said, websites like Forex Factory, finding out the news, checking what's coming up this week, these can be absolutely invaluable too. And I think it's worth having them bookmarked for almost every trader. So the final tool I want to talk about that I think every trader should have is access to suitable trading education and support. This is probably the most important one, why I wanted to leave it to the end. Now, there are loads of different ways of doing this. There are some fantastic websites out there that are going to give you the basics. So, if we come back to Baby Pips, they have a great section on learning Forex markets and even learning crypto. Okay, it's a little limited, it's a little simplistic, but for very new traders, it's going to get you started. And you can look through some basic information and learn some terminology. They have a Forex glossary, which is quite handy because, a lot of the terms in trading are overcomplicated in my opinion, and they're there to really confuse new traders. Also, most brokers, along with the platform, they'll have some sort of trading tool. So, IG, they have an academy section here that you can access even if you don't have their platform, if you haven't signed up. I've used this in the past. It's been really good, actually. Again, a little limited, but it's going to cover the basics and some advanced features, really well, and give you a good introduction to the market. I would say the next step, and obviously, I can't avoid mentioning this, is having a look for somebody to talk you through it. Having a look for a team of traders that have worked in the market before. So as an example, our site, going through our program, really digs into another level. As you can see, we'll go through with the strategies. We'll go through the introductions to trading as well. And I think also, along with the course that we offer, and there are other sites that do this, of course, you get the support there. You get the coaching calls with myself, with other members of the team, and every week then we'll be able to help answering the questions, which is something that, along with all of this, you don't get on courses that come from certain websites. It's something that along with all the videos, I think the real value is being able to speak to real traders. So this is all fantastic, but yeah, I think having somebody to talk to and address your issues, address your questions is the most important thing. Which, okay, these sites are good for talking through the basics, but they don't give you that extra little bit of information, which I think is vital for most traders, just to give you a head start, essentially. So, having a look through, whether you start with one of these websites to progress and have a look for a course, or just jump into a course straight away, that's the process that I would follow through, and it's going to save most traders a lot of time rather than trying to learn it on their own. So that concludes, the 5 tools and the 5 areas that I think every trader needs to focus on to be, a well-rounded and accomplished trader. Now, you may be using some of these already. You may have tried these in the past and thought, they're not for me. If that's the case, I would encourage you to go back, have a look at some of the alternative sources, find some better tools if it's not working for you there. Because I think, not having any of these in kind of your portfolio of tools and features, it's going to make you suffer as a trader overall. Now, as always, thank you very much for watching, guys. If there's any questions on what we've covered today, or any general questions, anything you'd like to see on future videos, just leave a comment below. And look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care, guys. I'll speak soon.